I would like to see what allegations you made against the defendant in order to get him removed from his own house. Just a second, just because you changed the locks doesn't make you any less of a squatter. You're a squatter when you live someplace that isn't yours, that you don't pay rent on.
There can't be anything worse than getting put out of your own house, and that's exactly what happened in this case. Now, Judge Judy isn't stupid. She knows something fishy is going on, and she's about to figure it out.
When you got a protective order, I am correct that there was no hospitalization or anything because of injuries that you received as a result of fight with him or a result of an assault.
There was an assault, but no injuries, Your Honor.
There were no hospital records or any medical records of any injury that initially, we're not talking about secondarily, you had two protective orders, or one with a violation. The initial one that you filed was in what month and year, Ms. Meadows?
That particular restraining order was in February of 2016, and we had been living in the home approximately 2 months.
And the home was in Mr. Gustafson's name, so it was his home because you were unmarried.
We bought it together, Your Honor.
Doesn't matter. The home is in his name. You're not married. The home is in what state?
Minnesota.
Minnesota, I assume, has the same laws as most places where you either have community property or equitable distribution if you're married and nothing if you're not, right? Nothing. It's his home. It's in his name. So in February of 2016, you'd been living in the home for 2 months. What kind of work were you doing?
At that time, I was a hairdresser, and I had my own business with my leather works.
Did you file tax returns in 2016?
Yes, I did.
How much did you claim that you earned in 2016?
I don't recall.
Give me a figure. 10, 20, 30,000?
$20,000.
$20,000. And what kind of work do you do?
I'm a union carpenter.
And how much did you claim that you earned in 2016?
I believe it was $72,000.
So clearly you were supportive of the household.
Yes.
How much of a down payment was put down on this house?
$1,000.
Is that correct?
Correct.
And what was the total purchase price of the house?
$206,000.
Whose name was on the mortgage?
His
Mine
name
was.
was.
Alone.
Correct.
So he is totally responsible for the mortgage. A $205,000 mortgage. With a mortgage payment of how much, sir?
$1,300.
And the taxes, which you paid.
Yes.
In February of 2016, which is the date of your first restraining order after you moved into the house, I'd like to see a copy of what you alleged.
Now, as you can see, Judge Judy is clearly on to whatever this woman is doing. Now, this lady was trying to talk her way out of it, but it was not working.
So I would like to see in February 2016 what allegations you made against the defendant in order to get him removed from his own house.
Your Honor, okay.
Don't answer me.
Okay.
I want to see the allegations that you made against Mr. Gustafson to get him removed from his own home.
That's not the restraining order. Pardon me, Your Honor. That's not the restraining order that got him removed from the home.
Then which one is it? Show her that one. That's all she's asking for. She wants to see what you accused him of. Show her that.
I'm reading your complaint. In February
different one.
2016, he started drinking and getting violent. I filed a restraining order and he was removed from the house. That's what you wrote. Do you want me to show you?
That was then, Your Honor, okay? That was then. And then he came back into the house.
No. I want to know, is that the truth or a mistake or a lie that in February 2016, you filed a restraining order against him and got him removed from the house? That's my question.
Yes, ma'am, that is
Then
true.
I want to see the allegations that you made in February of 2016 to get Mr. Gustafson removed from his own house. And I also would like to see any of the medical records or supporting documents that you had to get him removed from his own house.
I don't understand why this is so hard. Whatever you showed to the court to get him removed from the house, show her that. That is all she's asking.
While she's looking for those, Mr. Gustafson, who paid the mortgage on the house for the 10 months that she was living there?
I did.
Who paid the taxes for the 10 months that she was living there?
I did.
I'm waiting. February 2016. I want to see the allegations. Now, do you see why I put your son out?
Yes,
Good.
ma'am.
Let's have it.
I'm looking. That wasn't.
I
don't have
listen
that
to me
one.
carefully.
Yes, ma'am.
I take people who file charges of domestic violence very seriously because domestic violence, whether it's perpetrated against a man or a woman, is an atrocious thing to have to live with. I don't like when somebody circumvents the process by filing a restraining order when there is no basis for it in order to get a leg up in what isn't even a matrimonial action because the two of you aren't married.
This is why I like Judge Judy. She does not play about this. If you're coming in that courtroom with some assault allegations or anything like that, you better be ready to prove it or this will not go well for you.
Now, let's see if you don't have a copy of that. I'm not interested in the other restraining order. Pay careful attention. How long was he out of the house starting in February 2016 and you and your kid were living in the house, not paying the mortgage, not paying the taxes, and he was?
I did pay the mortgage and the taxes, and I have proof of those payments as well.
Sure. Just a second.
Okay, yep.
I would like you to tell me how long he was out of the house.
10 months, Your Honor.
10 months. And so what you're going to show me are the 10 months worth of mortgage payments and taxes. Go through.
I don't have 10 months worth. I have the first months, and he changed the passwords on everything, so nobody could make the payments but himself.
Listen to me carefully. The answer is you didn't make payments on the mortgage or the taxes. You have an excuse, but you and your kid live there rent-free, mortgage-free in his house based upon a restraining order that you don't have. How did I know you either wouldn't have it or it would be a whole lot of baloney?
I'm very tired of all of the lies.
So then the two of you hired lawyers, and then everybody's spending money. Did you pay your lawyers? Did you pay your lawyer?
Yes, I did.
How much did you pay him?
$2,000.
What's the name of your lawyer? And how much have you paid that lawyer?
I paid him $7,000. I still owe him $10,000.
So now, for no valid reason that I can think of, he's out of the house. It's his house. He's paying the mortgage. He's paying the taxes. You want to stay there? Send the check to him. You don't have to pay the mortgage. You know what the mortgage is. You know what the taxes are.
Exactly. Talking about he changed the password.
You are full of
So now, 10 months later, something happens. You want to tell me what happened? I mean, I read your complaint. I know I see what happened. You want to tell me what happened?
Sure.
Sure, go ahead.
Yes,
10 months later.
10 months later, he starts calling and says, my lawyer quit, you won. I have it in all the text messages.
Right. My lawyer quit. You outlasted him. You were able to pay a lawyer.
I'd have money to hire a lawyer too if I didn't have to pay rent or mortgage.
You were able to keep this thing going in the courts. He had no more money to pay the lawyer. You weren't paying the mortgage. He was. Okay, so he said, you won. I got exactly what you did. Precisely what you did. So you said what?
Your Honor.
So you said what?
I said, well, let's make a deal then.
Good. Let's make a deal. I want you to tell me what deal you wanted to make with him for his own house.
I wanted to buy the house from him.
For how much?
For the $206,000 plus any money that he put into it. It was arranged with our lawyers in the documents I have.
Okay. And you were prepared to pay him that and get another mortgage on your $20,000 a year income. And there are 1,000 banks after 2008 who are going to give you a mortgage on a $206,000 house on $20,000 worth of income. They're lining up. At some point, he came back to the house. You want to tell me your version? Now you know that I've been in your business, what you got involved in, for 40 years. I know exactly what you did. I know exactly what you wanted, what you thought you were entitled to, and I know exactly what you did. Now, you want to tell me about the second time you filed a restraining order after February of 2016 that kept getting adjourned and adjourned and adjourned by the lawyers and adjourned, keeping him out of the house. Go ahead.
Yes, ma'am.
Tell me the date. Tell me what happened, and then
The
I'll
date was 3/10/17.
Now, what had precipitated that? Had you been having discussions about the sale of the house?
We had tried to, and then he had me drop the restraining order, which I did.
Okay. Now, he had you drop the restraining order when?
It was February 16th, I believe, of 2017.
And tell me how it came about that I'm going to believe, Ms. Meadows, how he convinced you to drop the restraining order.
We had reconciled a bit. We decided to...
What does a bit mean, that we had reconciled?
We started sleeping together again.
When? Month and year? Month?
It was right after Christmas.
January.
Correct. January
2017.
Correct.
And you were sleeping together in whose house?
Our house.
His house. Shh, I don't want to hear it. In his house. So he said, I'm not coming to the house if you have a restraining order against me. The first time you're using your brain.
So she dropped the restraining order while they were sleeping together. He didn't move back in, but he would just come over to the house. But then she said he started getting weird.
So now he's filed your case where you said, I don't need a restraining order anymore. And then what happened?
Like I said, he started getting what I call weird, okay?
That's what you said in February 2016.
He would come over. I called the police 3 separate times. I called 911, okay? He was caught stealing, breaking into the house, the garage, his house, so he says, but the locks were changed. We lived there. He lived in Monticello.
Just a second. Just because you changed the locks doesn't make you any less of a squatter. You're a squatter when you live someplace that isn't yours, that you don't pay rent on. That makes you a squatter.
I have equitable rights, Your Honor.
No, you didn't. No court in this country will tell you you had equitable rights in this country. Equitable is when you're married. You're not.
So all the money that I put in is just out the window.
You didn't put in any money. You lived in the house for 2 months before you filed a restraining order. There was a total of $1,000 put down on the house, according to you, which is what you told me before. And he paid the mortgage for 10 months while you and your kid were living there. So how much money did you put into the house in the 2 months you were living there?
When I was living there, Your Honor, I made no more than $20,000 for one.
We do not care.
February 2016, you had moved into the house 2 months before. In the 2 months that you lived there with him, how much money did you put into the house?
For the 2 months, you say?
2 months.
$1,900.
So for 2 months, you put in $1,900, which is what you're going to show me. That's your equitable right in a $206,000 house. And you live there, 3 of you, I assume, you, your kid, and the defendant. Am I correct?
After the 2 months?
Just a second. Before the 2 months. After the 2 months, you had him thrown out. Of his own house, and you paid nothing. So what I'm asking you is, what equitable right do you think you have in this house. And if what you're telling me is $1,900, I'll tell you that you owe him rent for 10 months. Is this matter finally finished in the courts?
Yes.
And what happened?
She got ejected.
Somebody finally woke up, right? Did they finally wake up? So this is what happened with the second go-around, which is what you reluctantly don't want to tell me. So he was back in the house because you were canoodling together. And maybe he may have a drinking problem. He may have gotten weird, whatever it was. You should have, during that 10 months' time that you had plenty of time, you and your son found a different place to live, not in his house. So what you did was he came over to the house and you applied for another restraining order. You said he assaulted you. On what date did he assault you?
3/10/2017.
I would like to see the medical records.
There is no medical records, Your Honor.
I'd like to see a visit to a doctor.
There isn't a visit to the doctor.
Oh.
Oh, is that so?
Assault means an injury.
Your Honor, he had me in a headlock throwing me down the stairs.
If somebody threw me down a flight of stairs, I would go see a doctor if somebody threw me
Your
down the
Honor, he
stairs.
attempted to. I was biting him as hard as I could, and I held on for dear life until the police came.
This is bullshit.
I'm dismissing your case. Now I'm going to entertain his case. I have to see what you're suing for, sir. What was vandalized?
2 windows were broken, screens were broken, graffiti on the walls.
Do you have photographs for me?
I have a few, yes.
Can I ask you a question, Mr. Gustafson?
Yes.
The easiest thing for you to have counterclaimed for, which would have been really easy for me, is the mortgage payments and the taxes for the 10 months that she and her kid lived there and paid nothing and were squatters in your home for no reason, because there was no justification for her getting a removal order against you. She has no proof.
Your Honor, may I please state my case?
Just a second. I asked you to show me what you filed to get him removed from the house in February of 2016. That's what I want to see.
I simply don't have that one. I have 4 other ones that have
No,
been
I'm
since
not.
then.
Listen to me. How come the one that I'm interested in you don't have? The easiest thing would have been for me to just give you, sir, your mortgage payment for that 10 months. Don't you think she owes you for that?
Yes.
Did she ever pay you for that?
No.
He didn't pay all the mortgage payments either. The house was in foreclosure as well. I did pay several mortgage payments, and I have receipts.
Wait a minute.
Hold on a minute. Earlier you said you made 1 payment. And if you were making payments, why did the house go in foreclosure?
Wait a damn minute.
Oh, I would like to see your canceled check for the mortgage payments.
There's the one.
Just a second. No, that's $1,900. That's the first month you say you were there. You were there for 2 months with him. Mortgage payment alone was $1,300 a month.
And I was behind, Your Honor. I'm caught up now. I've been
Of course you are. No.
completely.
What are these things, sir? What is on this?
That's graffiti on the walls up in the loft of the garage.
How'd the graffiti get on the walls, Miss Meadows?
My son's friends.
And the window broken?
I have no idea.
How much were your utility bills for the 10 months that you lived there?
She did pay the utility bills while she was there. Here's what she left that I had to pay to clear
I'd
them
like
up.
to see it. She paid the utility bills, otherwise they would turn off the utilities. She's smart.
I had no idea I was moving. Nor should I. We bought that house together, Your Honor. We were at the closing together. He lived with me before we bought the house.
I don't give a Keisha.
So what?
He swindled me into putting it into his name, Your Honor.
You're a victim.
Here we go.
Okay, what was I to do?
Go find an apartment with your son.
We all lived together at the
When
time.
you were ready to leave because you didn't like his behavior, go
Everything I owned was at that house. He had
Take
nothing.
it. Just a
When I
second.
met him, he had a mattress on the floor.
And you
Everything
had-
was mine.
Everything except that house.
You know, you had a whole lot from the $20,000 a year that
Yeah,
you
but
earned.
I'm 51 years old. Everything I've saved all my life was in that house.
Terrific.
And he's kept everything. I can't start over.
Judgment on the counterclaim for $3,500. Your claim is dismissed. We're done.
Welp, she said she couldn't start over, but I don't think she got much of a choice. I am so happy the courts finally got this right and threw her out of that man's house. The fact that she was able to take that man's house over in the first place is a problem to me. As far as I'm concerned, it doesn't matter what he did. That is his house. I can see the court saying we'll give her some time to get her stuff and move, but you don't let her live there for a year? How does that make sense? So this man does something or is accused of doing something, and y'all just throw him out in the streets and he owns the house? That doesn't make any sense to me. And the reason why Judge Judy is so hip to this whole strategy is because women keep doing it, because y'all won't change the rules. You gotta change this. This makes no sense. If I'm living in a house and my girlfriend owns that house and I call the police and say she assaulted me, are y'all gonna let me take over her house for a year?
Man, hell no.
Absolutely not. You know what they're gonna say?
Do me a favor, please.
Get out of here.
Sir, get your stuff and get out of there. That's what y'all gonna do. So why didn't y'all do that to her? She should have to figure out another place to go. If somebody is assaulting you, you shouldn't want to be around him. These people are taking advantage of this, and that is a problem. I did a video not too long ago about some girl trying to call the police on her boyfriend, trying to get him arrested so she can take over his apartment. The good thing is the police were hip to it, and they took her to jail instead.
You're going to jail. So let's go.
I'm going to jail?
Yes. You're under arrest.
No. How am I under arrest? How am I under arrest for getting hit?
Because you're determined to be the primary aggressor.
But all you needed was different police officers to show up, and that could have went a totally different way. It's just a ridiculous thing. This lady had no proof of injury, no hospital records, no doctor visits, nothing. She just said he assaulted her, and this man lost his house. And I don't know what that man was thinking to take her with him to go buy that house. I have no idea what he was thinking. She didn't put any money on it. It's in your name. Why did you even bring her? Because by bringing her, you made her feel like maybe she did own some of the house. She kept saying it even though she never really did, but I do blame him for that. Don't even give her the illusion that she owns the house. And the fact that you had to pay $17,000 in lawyer fees to handle the situation is crazy to me. And he said he still owes his lawyer $10,000. For whatever reason, she only had to pay $2,000. I don't even know if she paid that, to be honest with you. But this whole situation is crazy. Y'all gotta do something about these laws. It shouldn't be that simple for somebody to just say something and then somebody can lose their home. She says she called the police multiple times on this man when she should have been calling the Uber or calling U-Haul so she can get her stuff and leave. But it wasn't about what he was doing to her. It was about her securing a home. That's what it was. She was trying to secure a house. This is why when she turned around and said, "I'll just buy the house from you," which was comical because Judge Judy hit the nail right on the head. Who's going to give a mortgage to a lady barely making $20,000 a year, doing hair and working on her leather business, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean? I love the fact that Judge Judy was on this thing right away. There was not one moment where Judge Judy was falling for this whole thing this lady was trying to pull off. It was very clear what you were doing. The man knew it. Judge Judy knew it. The bailiff knew it. Everybody in the audience knew it. You were trying to secure a home. That's what was happening. And you used the system against that man to do it. And I love cases like this. And this is why I wanted to reshare it, because it really is a teaching lesson for a lot of men out there. Don't put yourself in this situation, because if you mess around with the wrong girl, there's a chance that you can wake up one day sleeping in your car, even though you have a home in your name that you're still paying bills on, like this man was doing. And you know something that really bothered me about this video? Why didn't she have the first assault charge paperwork? Why didn't she have that? That was the original report, the one that really started this whole thing. Why didn't she have that? She had all this other assault paperwork, but she didn't have the first one. I really believe there was something about that paperwork that she didn't want the judge to see. I'm pretty sure if they would have went over there and looked through that paperwork, it was probably over there. She just didn't want the judge to see it. How do you have everything else there except the original paperwork? This is why I know this whole situation wasn't right. If you file charges on somebody, you will have the paperwork. And if y'all don't think she would lie about that, remember, this is the same lady who originally said, "I only made one payment." And then later on in the video, she said, "I made multiple housing payments. Let me show you the receipts." Did y'all see the receipts?
Don't worry, I'll wait.
I didn't see these receipts. Where are these receipts? Because she didn't have them. She was lying. So her credibility was shot to me, and I'm so happy Judge Judy knew it. This situation was crazy, but I love the fact that Judge Judy handled it. I hope that lady goes off and figure out her situation, and I hope that man is much smarter going forward. But anyway, leave your thoughts on this video. I appreciate you guys watching. See you next time.